see two blue lights like that.
Yep.
Do I clip it here?
See if you can clip it right there. Yeah, there's a little clip on there. Test, test. So you are microphone number 1, and I'm microphone number 2.
Does it show on that?
Yeah, it does. Pretty fancy. Look at that.
Ah.
See that you were 1. See how much louder it was?
Ah.
Okay. So first we'll do our intro, and then we'll have you go fetch your tree. See if you can find it. All right. Are you ready? Hi, everyone. Welcome to Dave's Bonsai. Today on the show, what are we doing?
I don't know.
Like on today's show, or Jake's tree, or
Jake's tree.
Okay.
We'll just do that. Hey everyone, welcome
Wait,
to...
no. That's my job.
Yeah, that's your job.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Dave's Bonsai. On today's show,
Jake's tree.
yeah, his tree. So it's on the cabin cold frame. It's the far left bottom, and it's the one that's really long and scraggly.
Ah, wow.
Can you see it?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's your tree.
I'm guessing it's this one.
Yeah. I'm going to start talking while you're coming back, okay? Welcome, everyone, to the Blue Spruce, just outside the PSGF, where Jake and I are going to work on his tree. And he's coming back right now with the behemoth of a cotoneaster. Jake, what's your first assessment of the tree?
Long.
Long. It's a little untidy.
Yeah, needed a training.
Yeah, we need to train it a little bit. We need to prune it a little bit. We haven't touched it since about this time last year, so we let this thing go for an entire year. Let's give it a 360 spin for everybody at home there. Go ahead, spin it around. I don't even know. I think we were looking at the front. So for you at home, that might be the front, maybe. Oh no, I think it might be the other way. Let's go, keep going.
I think it's
Let's
this
see.
way.
I don't know if that's the front or the other way is the front.
We'll make it the front.
We'll make it the front. I think this was the front because of this back branch back here.
Yeah.
So if this is the front, everybody, this back branch back here, it's like the tree kind of wraps and gives us that little bit of a hug, where this way, sorry about that. It kind of bends this way. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Did I give you a splinter?
That was close.
Okay, so we're going to look at the front and work on it here. How would you first think that you would attack this tree based on what you and I have done in the last couple of years? What do you think you would do first?
Probably not make it to how it spins and it hits you. So probably trim up the sides and stuff.
All right, trim up the sides so Dave doesn't whip him in the face with a branch. Yeah, so we could literally go ahead and shorten every single branch, just to get it more in size. You agree with that first? Yeah, because it's like, yeah,
I can't.
None of them should really go too far outside the pot, right?
Yeah.
So this is your job. So go ahead. I'm going to talk to them while you just trim some of these off. And just go about halfway on all these, right? Just cut them halfway off.
Like there.
So there's many ways you can approach pruning the trees. The leaves have definitely hardened off. We've had plenty of growth this year. And we're just going to get it so it's manageable. If you can't see the tree because there's so much going on, we're going to go ahead and just trim everything off. Now, a lot of people will leave some branches long, like on some of my pines out at Bonsai Acres. We leave those long for sacrificial and to thicken up the trunk. We don't know which one we'll leave as sacrificial. The whole tree just had so many solar panels on it all summer long that it did plenty of thickening. Attack you there? So we're cutting a foot off of some of these branches. You're getting thick. Here we go. So we're going to continue to do this and trim this up so it just looks a little bit more presentable. And then once we can kind of see a little bit better into the tree, we will make some bigger decisions on like what branches we need to like really cut off in a serious way.
I'm being attacked.
I think the funnest part of this tree is how people pronounce it. Xavier, I can't even pronounce it like I think you did. cotaster, some people say cotoneaster, some people say cotoneaster. I say cotoneaster, I think. I already forgotten. So in the comments below, let's see the 15 different ways people pronounce this tree. Is it cotoneaster, cotoneaster? Yeah. What do you think, Jake?
Cotoneaster.
Cotoneaster.
That just sounds right.
That just sounds better, doesn't it? I totally agree with Jake, and I'm glad he agrees with me because he's got the scissors.
This one shorter, this one a little longer.
I'll remind Jake
Big.
that we want thick bottom, skinnier branches, and even skinnier out at the tertiary level. So it's always going from fat to skinnier to skinnier. We might want to balance out the growth on the tree.
It's very thick in some areas.
It's very thick in some areas, exactly. And so that's what we're going to, some of our decisions might be based on how thick things are.
Right here, it's just,
Yeah.
there's just all...
So let me ask you a question then, Jake. Jake's looking at the tree and saying it's real thick out here.
Oh, wow.
So when you follow the trunk of this tree up, the main trunk looks like it's going to go a little bit to your right, our left. And that's a thick branch. But look at this branch up here. This branch up here is really thick for being that high on the tree. Now later in life that'd be fine if the tree was this big, but right now it's just a little bit out of proportion right there. So that branch, so that back branch right there is really super solid. You won't be able to cut with that one. So we're going to cut with this one when we get there. But what do you think we're going to have to do? Well, first of all, viewers at home probably know that we have a couple of eye pokers. What does an eye poker branch mean?
The one that comes straight at you?
Yeah, you know, it's coming right at us and it just makes us not see the tree very pretty anymore. So these two branches here and these three are kind of on our face. This is a little bit higher. Let's do that one last. Actually cut it a little bit shorter right off the get-go just to get it out of our face. We may take it off completely. Okay, so we've got all of this right here. It's just kind of staring at us in the face. So if we want to see the trunk of this tree, there we go.
There.
And let's cut that one. Okay, now we cut them shorter, but they're just going to probably grow into our face again. So it might continue to be an eye poker. So we might have to decide which one we want to maybe take off. And I'll ask Jake, of this section, this guy and that guy, this one, and this one. Jake, which one do you think we would take off and why first? Which one might be a weird angle
Probably
branch?
the lower one, because it's get more into the trunk and you want to see that.
Yeah, we do want to see that trunk, and that one, we almost could take that entire thick branch off.
That's what I was thinking.
But at first,
Oh.
this one's not even from that branch. Did you notice that?
No.
This was growing over here, but it's from a branch way over there. That's just a really weird direction.
Let's just cut that down.
That one's just not behaving very well at all. We don't need that one. Now you can see the three branches.
Pinched my fingers.
Oh, be careful, yeah. When they get thicker, you can use these cutters right here. Now, this one right here bothers me because it's growing almost down and in our face. I think this one has to come completely off too.
Yep.
So we're talking about this guy right here.
I can get that.
Go way in there,
I like this
as
angle.
close to the trunk as possible.
Oh. Wait.
You were stuck on a different branch as well. We can always clean it up later, so yeah, there you go. Okay.
Where'd it go? Oh, he's still in there.
Okay, so now we're opening it up a little bit more. We're able to see that tree a little bit more. So we have a decision to make. So this one kind of comes out straight at us, but it's going a little bit more that way. This one goes that way. So both of those are kind of possibly in our way. And so
this one comes more at you.
So let's use this guy, and let's cut him right off.
Right where?
Let's cut the whole branch off, right at the base of the tree. We're going to make a big decision. Big cut coming up here, Nigel. All right, there we go. We took this guy out coming right at us. And as you can see, there's another branch already trying to grow in its place. That's how ferociously this thing has been growing. You see this guy right here?
Yeah.
It's growing back towards the tree. Take all that off.
Yeah, take that off.
This is growing back at the trunk. We don't like back at the trunks. There, we clean that up. There. Already, we can see Jake's tree has improved by seeing the structure of the tree. We want to see the flow of the trunk go all the way up to the top of the tree. So now we can.
There's still a couple of overlappers though.
We still have, but they're smaller, right? Not as much of an eyesore. This one's getting a little bit close here, but that's the one that crosses.
Yeah,
so
like this one is just out there by itself.
yeah, he just looked at this one. What's this one sitting out here kind of all by itself? This is such a big solid primary branch that let's just cut that whole thing off. And again, use that one. And let's get as close to that trunk as possible. The angle, twist it towards me a little bit more. Nope, the other way. Go that way. There you go. And find it where it curves right in there. There you go. Look at that. So there's a little stub there. We can clean that up later. But now, for bonsai people, what do you think is wrong with this branch? I mean, it's a great thick branch, but what's kind of maybe unattractive about it? See if you remember.
That just stops.
Well, we got to clean that up, right? So we can clean that up. But from here to here,
It just stays the same thickness.
there you go. It's the same thickness, everyone. Look at this lack of taper. But the taper is from the trunk to the branch to this branch. So there is taper, but it's also stick straight. You see this chopstick? Look at that. It's the same thickness as that chopstick and as straight as the chopstick. That's kind of boring. So we could either wire a branch like that, but it's too thick. Or we hope we get more branches back here by cutting these that we cut off. We hope we get a couple more that'll sprout there and there. So we're going to hope for some back budding there and there. But in the meantime, take that concave cutter there again. You see that little nub? Let's get him a little closer to that new branch. And I'll tell you when to clomp down. Right there, and cut that right off. Now we got a cleaner cut there. He just cleaned that up. And now this branch is going way up and back and kind of weird, so let's just cut him in half and get half of him out of there. Yeah, just cut him in half somewhere right about there for right now. Now, cutting that tip off is hopefully going to put more energy back down here, and we're going to hope we get another branch or two right there.
Like how it bounced off.
That one's a bizarre one. We might have to do some more tweaking with that one. All right. Now, I want to show another branch to you and see what you think. I want you to look at this branch up in here. So everybody at home,
There's a lot of...
look at this branch right here, under my hand, right there. Look at that branch structure. What do you see? Okay, Jake, looking at that branch structure there, this particular branch right here, from here up to the tip, what do you see there?
That also stays like the same, almost.
It also stays the same, so there is a lack of taper.
Yeah.
Good. So we want to get rid of some of the length. What happens up here in this messy zone? What do you see up there?
There's a lot of branches growing out of it.
There you go. So in bonsai, we say we want to go to twos. We want to go from one branch to two. And we go from one to one, two up here, but this one's so close that these three right here, the three right here could become some kind of a whirl, right? And it's just kind of not very attractive. But look at these two branches too then. What are those two branches doing?
They're crossing.
Yeah, they're crossing. Look up here, everybody. Branch and branch. They're literally doing an X right there. This is horrendous in bonsai. We don't want that. So they took off and grew. So which one should we get rid of?
I think this one.
You think that one?
Yeah.
I think that's a good choice because these branches over here will highlight where that tree's growing. So let's cut that one with this one again, real close to the trunk of that tree. Get in there real nice and tight. And we chopped it in there before. That was one of your last chops, as you can see right there. And that's where a branch grew. Now we got rid of the crisscross. Now this is still a little bit of obnoxious of a branch, and it's kind of a bar branch with here, and there's still 1, 2, 3 there. So you know what we're also going to do is we're going to get rid of this branch as well. So
Because now there's just
there we go.
two.
And now we just opened up the tree in this area a lot more and less long, leggy growth things. Now, this one's these are kind of growing in our face again, right? So let's cut these down really short. And I'll tell you, yeah, cut that one wherever you think. And I'm going to ask you where you want to cut the next one. So at home,
I know.
if you can see that branch right here by my thumb right here, this is the branch he's going to cut. Where might you cut and why?
Right here.
Hold on. Go a little bit longer. Leave a little bit more on. Keep going out. And one more time. One more branch. Right there. And I'll tell everybody at home why we did that.
Uh-oh.
Strong one. Okay, we just cut this right here. So see, I left from 1 to 2. He was going to cut right at the base, which is fine. Then we'd have taper. But I want to leave these two on first for balance. And then we'll see if we're going to cut it shorter later. So you see that we have balance here. We have two branches come on here that are about the same size and about the same length. And there's one right here. So this is a separate branch, and it's about the same size as well.
Yeah.
So we left 2 new branches to grow out. So at home, we left 2 sections of foliage to go out here, and this one has 2, 3, or 4 sets. Okay, This is also kind of in our face, right? Coming out pretty long here. Let's do the same thing with this. So how would you balance these two branches out? Where would you cut them?
I feel like I'd go this one, like right here.
Okay. And then where's this one? And whether he knows this or not, he cut the thicker one a little bit shorter, so that this one's thicker and more vibrant, and this one's a little bit skinnier, so this has maybe a little chance to catch up. So I like how he did that, whether he thought about that or not. I'm going to say he did, because he's a smart kid.
Yeah.
Totally. Totally. Just like when you step on the pitcher's mound, right? No fear. You just do. Is that kind of weird? That branch right there?
That one just right here?
Yeah.
That's just there.
Yeah, just get rid of that. That's and it's not healthy. Why do you think it's not healthy down there?
Because it doesn't get any sunlight.
Doesn't get any sunlight. I do have a smart one next to me here. Doesn't get much sunlight. You see this one who's grown out and wants to be an eye poker? Let's just get rid of that too. Loud airplane. All right. So there is Jake's tree with our first little attempt there. We shortened everything up drastically. We got a couple crisscross branches out, the eye pokers out of our way. We still have some major decisions to make.
I think this one comes out just further than it should.
It does. And before we cut that shorter, we might even cut the whole branch off. So look at your tree. So you have a tree that splits actually into 1, 2, 3, 4, because this one's higher up, so that's good. We have 2 back here, and then the main trunk's here. So we have kind of 4 branches in there that could thicken up this tree. But right now it looks really, really even. So what I'm explaining to Jake right now, everybody, is these branches. 1, the trunk is 2, 3 back here, and 4. We have 4, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a lot of stuff going on. So then it splits really big here. We got all this movement over here. Something has to go here, Jake. So you see these 2 branches? You see how they're growing like almost the same direction?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like this on the tree right now, everybody. How this branch and this branch here, these are growing right next to each other in the same trajectory. So what would you cut off? Do you think you'd cut off this whole main branch here and let the tree be tall and fun and let these be the first 2 primary branches and then leave this and this? Or would you cut this branch here?
Probably this branch here.
You'd cut the top one of the 2. I would cut the bottom. So we have a decision to make. This is Jake's tree, and I talk to people at the MVS workshops all the time. Hey, this is your art. This is your tree. This is your vision. Here's why I would do that, just so you can think about your decision. These 2 branches are growing out of the same spot, next to the trunk. So someday this whole chunk right here could be a real fat, knuckly kind of thick section. Whereas up here, the trunk goes up and then splits nicely into 2, and then we have all the splitting up there.
Oh, yeah.
If we get rid of this one, we have a nice trunk line now coming up to this one. So we have branch, branch, and branch.
Yeah. Let's do
So you think you like that?
Yeah.
If we keep these 3, the trunk, this branch, and this branch, this could get real thick and kind of maybe gnarly down here. And then if we get rid of it, we highlight the trunk line a little bit better. So this is a really big cut. Can you make that cut?
The whole thing?
As close to the trunk as possible. Go down a little bit. You're at the wrong angle. Gonna go down, 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 right about.
Tell me when to cut.
Right about there. Squeeze. Right there. Big cut, everybody. Here it comes. Uh-oh, there it is. Look at that big trunk. This could almost be a cutting we could plant for a new cotoneaster or cotoneaster, whatever you prefer. We'll think about that later. And then with these cuts...
That just opened it up.
Yeah, we're going to look at it in a sec here. You probably could already tell. So then we clean up some of this wound here. We're going to hope this wound heals really nice and pretty. Now, they can see it, but I can't yet. Did we make the right decision at home? What do you think?
Yes.
Does it look like a tree now?
It
looks so much more like a tree.
You can't even see that from the backside anymore, and it just looks
You guys
great.
can't see the cut we just made, and now we can see the trunk of a tree. Now, this one wouldn't have been horrible either, but this one was just probably the stronger move for today on this tree. And now, our last couple decisions are on the top part of the tree. Now we created this nice trunk here, Jake, but now we split into 3. The main trunk here, this big branch back here, and this one over here. These are all really thick branches, kind of tall, high in the tree. They've actually surpassed both of the primary branches. The top needs to slow down. So either way, we have to cut it shorter.
I feel like these 2 kind of collide more at the top here, and I feel like it's just all messy up like
It
right
is.
here.
So how do we clean that up, do you think?
I think this one is like it has a couple of branches, not as much as this one.
Yeah.
Like this one just has this, and this one. So I feel like if we would cut this one, then these two wouldn't be colliding and stuff. So
Cut the entire one off. Cut that whole thick branch off.
maybe.
Maybe cut this whole thick branch off.
I don't know.
It's too bad this branch isn't on this side, which is the one we just cut off earlier. Because now we have a tree that goes this way. We'd want it to go that way more. And then you can see that branch back there better. But if you cut this one off, my fear, everybody, if we cut this one off, is we'll have a really flat tree this way. You can almost see it right now, how we're really flat this way. We don't have any width to it. And so if we cut this one off, I think we will highlight that. Does that make sense? You see how this plane looking this way is real skinny?
Yeah.
And if we take that one off, then it's really skinny. We've got branch, 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 and branch, like almost all in the same plane. So let's leave it for now. Let's think about that choice next year. But let's just shorten everything up and try to clean everything up. So how do we shorten, how do we shorten some of this up? So what I would do is, first of all, you see this branch?
Yeah.
Match this one with that one. So just cut that one so it's about the same height. And let's cut the one behind the same thing. We're just now cutting to a profile. And now this one splits nicely up here. Let's just cut this branch off where it goes down right there. There we go. And cut that one a little bit shorter because we're just cutting the tips off. It sends energy down to the bottom of the tree. Okay, now let's cut this one about in half because it's kind of coming in our face. All right, let's cut this one in half. We're just going to cut all these in half again because they're kind of in our face a little bit. This one in half, so it's somewhere down there. That's good. All right, this one is a little bit oh, look where this one's coming from.
Oh.
Way down here on this one branch. That's really what we're trying to clean up down here, right?
What if we don't cut the whole thing off? What about like this thing right here?
That branch or this branch?
This one, because this one gives more width right here.
This one gives more width. The reason why this one is a tough one, we're looking at this one, everybody. This branch right here leans the same way this one leans. So if we cut this one off and leave this, these two are fighting for vision. This one is the weaker branch though, but there's a new bud there, so I think we're gonna be okay. So if we cut this off, we see this much better. And then this can be the new part of this branch that grows up tall.
But I feel like this gives a lot of width. This one?
This one gives width?
Yeah.
You're right. So maybe we cut this off.
Yeah, right there.
So cut them down lower with this guy.
Right. Oh.
I think it's a thick enough branch where we should cut down low. There you go. I like how he was thinking. It's giving width to the tree. So we'll just make it so it's not quite as out far.
In this one,
and
I feel like we should
you can cut that one entirely, way down low, if not entirely off. That one's a kind of a sucker that's coming out that we just don't want right now. It's kind of growing on the inside of a curve too. All right, you see these two crisscrossers back there, those little tiny guys? You clean those up right there. Both those are just little tiny cleany. They're just kind of crisscrossing.
Right
yep,
here?
you get both of those. One more.
Ah.
Oh, that was both.
That was both.
Both in one fell swoop. And then we got a stump right there.
That one looks kind of dead. Oh, that's just...
We got a stump right there. Spider.
Spider-Man.
Our friend, they eat all the bad bugs. Well, some of the spiders do. So we have this branch to make it thicker too, which is nice. It'll make it wider here.
Yeah.
This one can help with that too in the future. All right. Look at your tree. Is anything still blazing at you that you think we should maybe change? Is this a little bit too aggressive?
Yeah.
Let's cut it way shorter, again in half. Let's cut half of that off. There we go. And let's make this one shorter. There we go. Let's go even one shorter. And the reason why is because the branch is going to grow that way. There you go. All right, that cleaned that up nice.
Yeah.
Now for the future, you see how long and straight that branch is? Right here? And you see that's a new bud?
Yeah.
We could even cut to this one and cut that thick, chunky knob off with this guy.
Yeah, I think so.
Right, that's a big, thick chunk. Cut above this one first. Go at about that angle right there so we don't see the scar as much, right about there. Cut that chunk off. There. We just got rid of this whole big chunky spot, which we'll let this shoot up and we'll see how it goes, but we'll probably be promoting this branch. This has a nice curl up here and it's going to grow up right in here. It'll be nicer than this long, straight section. We could even be aggressive and do that now, but I'm going to wait because this might die back. So we're going to leave that just like that. And now, you see how these two branches are like, we call this a bar branch in bonsai. From there you can see this branch and this branch. Which of these two would you cut off right now, do you think?
The smaller one?
The smaller one, because we want this to fill in this space over here, but this smaller one here is growing inside the tree and it's being blocked by other branches, kind of, sort of. There we go. See how much nicer that looks now? So we had a bar branch here and here, and we cut off the inside one. All right. What do you think, sir?
I think it looks pretty good.
It looks more like a tree now instead of a crazy thing, right? Mm-hmm. We got a couple that could become eye pokers, but let's let it grow out for the rest of the summer, and this time next year, we'll have another tree to do. All right. That's it. Do you know how to close out of my show?
No.
You don't know how?
No.
All right. So, take care of you.
Me say that now.
Yeah. Take care of you.
Take care of you.
Take care of your bonsai.
Take care of your bonsai.
And we'll see you in about a year.
And we'll see you in about a year.